History of Mercedes S-Class. Our picks of 6 generations of Mercedes S-Class cars sold on Bring a Trailer. The S-Class has long been Mercedes-Benz's flagship sedan. Big, bold, and sophisticated, it has set the bar in its segment for more than 50 years. Enjoyed by oligarchs, diplomats, and discerning business people alike, it has become a symbol of wealth and power around the world. It also acts as a test bed, allowing Mercedes to evaluate and introduce technologies that will eventually trickle down not only to the rest of the brand's models, but, in some cases, the automotive world as a whole. While the S-Class's style and gadgets have changed over the years, the formula hasn't. Each generation is part of an epic compendium that tells a story, not just about Mercedes-Benz, but about the world itself. In order to highlight this car's story, we've tapped Bring a Trailer's awesome collection of auction listings to bring you 12 examples of the company's famed underclass. 1973 Mercedes-Benz 280 SE 4.5, first generation W108. The Mercedes W108, produced between 1965 and 1973, encapsulated America's post-war economic golden era. Large, comfortable, and brutish, the sleek sedan represented an evolution in design following the W111 Fintail. This beautiful pine green metallic 280 SE 4.5 came from Stuttgart with a 4.5-litre V8 engine paired to a 3-speed automatic. Though the 280 SE wasn't going to win any drag races, it embodied the same regal spirit that exists in S-classes of today. This example sold for $20,250 in April 2020. 1969 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL 6.3, first generation W109. In 1966 an engineer by the name of Erich Waxenberger created the car that would change the future of Mercedes-Benz forever, the 300 SL 6.3. Waxenberger took the company's largest V8 and jammed it into the W109 sedan, producing a brutally fast hot rod that was capable of hitting 60 miles per hour in 6.5 seconds and reaching nearly 140 miles per hour. The car paved the way for Hans Werner Alfrecht and Erhard Melcher, two fellow engineers, to race a modified version of the 300 SL under AMG. This beautiful 1969 300 SL sold at auction in July 2020 for $38,000. 1975 Mercedes-Benz 280S, second generation W116. The W116 Mercedes, released in 1972, was the first of the company's products to feature the S-Class nameplate. Unlike the W109 before, the new sedan, internally dubbed W116, represented a fundamental shift in Mercedes' lineage by placing an emphasis on not just the driver but also the passenger experience. This aqua blue 280S, which sold in April 2019 for a modest $8,700, came equipped with a 2.7-litre inline-six. 1977 Mercedes-Benz 450 SL 6.9, second generation W116. The legendary Brock Yates was approached by Mercedes-Benz in the mid-1970s and asked to test its newest flagship sedan, the 450 SL 6.9. His evaluation was glowing, as was that of his boss, David E. Davis Jr., who spearheaded our review of the 6.9 2 years later. "How does it all work?" "Superbly," Davis exclaimed, "and for good reason." Despite its 4,390-pound curb weight and top-line interior accoutrements, our test car ripped off a 0 to 60 mph time of just 7.1 seconds. This rare European example, which popped up last year on Bring a Trailer, fell short of its reserve price after bidding up to a strong $18,000. 1987 Mercedes-Benz 560 SL Koenig, third generation W126. Pull up in a maroon 1987 Mercedes-Benz S-Class with a body kit and gold wheels, and you'll get some attention. Koenig Specials became famous for putting together wildly fast, and fast-looking, supercars. While this 1987 650-cell Koenig wide-body special wasn't able to sell at auction back in 2014, we're sure it eventually made its way into the hands of an owner as radical as the car. 1991 Mercedes-Benz 560 SEC AMG, 3rd generation W126. The 560 SEC AMG was a car beyond its time. Equipped with air suspension, a boisterous V8, and a 4-speed automatic, the 560 SEC was the king of early 90s GT cars. This particular example, which raked in a strong $50,500 at auction in June 2020, represents the pinnacle of W216 architecture. AMG's influence is apparent in the bodywork and monoblock wheels. 1994 Mercedes-Benz S600, 4th generation W140. In 1991, Mercedes-Benz released a new S-Class on the W140 chassis. This car would bring the sedan, a long-time favorite of diplomats around the world, into the 1990s in spectacular fashion. Unlike the S-Classes of old, the W140 was sleek, smooth, and grand. This 1994 S600, which sold in April 2020 for $18,000, represented the top of the model line with its 389 horsepower 6.0-liter V12 engine. 1994 Mercedes-Benz S350 Turbo Diesel, 4th generation W140. The S350 Turbo Diesel aimed to provide its owners all of the trapping of an S-Class but in an eco-friendly package. Instead of a large displacement V8, the S350 instead packed a noisy, likely smelly, but robust turbocharged 3.5-liter inline-six diesel. And while noisy and smelly aren't what should come to mind when you think of a full-size Benz, it's hard to argue with results. In 1994 the EPA granted the S350 an impressive 26 mile-per-gallon highway rating. This low-mile S350 however, which went to auction in March 2020 on Bring a Trailer, failed to meet its unlisted reserve price at $11,000. 2006 Mercedes-Benz S434 Matic, 5th generation W220. The W220 S-Class marked a turning point for Mercedes-Benz drivetrain technology. While not the first all-wheel drive car sold by the company, it was the first S-Class offered with the now ubiquitous 4MATIC system. It also reflected the widespread introduction of the technology across its model range. This seemingly immaculate 2006 S430, powered by a 4.3-liter V8, sold in February 2020 for $10,000. 2006 Mercedes-Benz S65 AMG, 5th generation W220. Mercedes-Benz's anthology reads like the writings of a virtuoso with questionable direction. Its history, conservative and smart, is pockmarked with cars like this, the 604 horsepower, twin-turbo V12 S65 AMG. It was an absolute unit, and maybe that's why examples like this one on Bring a Trailer tend to still bring significant money on the used car market. This example didn't meet its reserve for auction at $22,500 back in 2018. 2013 Mercedes-Benz S350 Blue Tech 4MATIC, 6th generation W221. The S350 Blue Tech 4MATIC, like previous diesel S-Classes, was an ace in the hole with its fantastic fuel economy. Rated at 31 miles per gallon highway, the all-wheel drive, V6-powered Mercedes allows its passengers safe and comfortable passage through a variety of terrains and climates. This awesome example sold in January 2020 for $25,000.